I want to do a debt story time. It's not a cute story, but I feel like this happens to so many people and it happens so easily. I'm going to talk about how I went from being debt free to having over $11,000 in credit card debt and my plan for becoming debt free once again. I am the humble Henry. I am a high earner, not rich yet, and I'm here to humbly share my financial journey with you. So if I think back to 2023 was the year that I became debt free. I paid off my student loans. I had no credit card debt at all. I was using my credit card, but I was paying off that balance, like the full balance every month when it would come due. And so I was just balling. I was living the good life. And then in 2024, I decided that I wanted to be a homeowner, which, is a good choice. And being a homeowner going to cost you some money, maybe more than I had really considered beforehand. I knew that in the process of being a homeowner, a brand new, fresh homeowner, and moving, that there would be a lot of different costs coming up. And so in 2024, after I closed for my house, I applied for a 0% APR credit card. This 0% APR credit card was supposed to be for moving. And at some point, I lost the plot. And I was using that credit card for a lot of things. Utilities, going out to eat, going shopping. I went to Austin to go see my best friend. And I was like, okay, you have to stop using this card at some point so that you can pay it off. And so there was a plan in the back of my head, but I knew that the 0% APR wasn't going to end until November 2025. So I always just felt like I had time. And then come to find out, in December of 2024, I found out that my corporate job was going to be eliminated. That changed everything because I thought I might be unemployed shortly. So I found out in December that I was supposed to be losing my job, so to speak, effectively March 31st of 2025. So Q1 of 2025, I was hustling to find a job, right? I needed something permanent. And that 0% APR credit card was the last thing I was worried about because I didn't want to take any of the cash that I had saved and put it towards a credit card when I might need those emergency cash rations, so to speak, in the scenario that I lost my employment. And so that time in Q1, I wasn't really using the 0% APR credit card, but I also was not really making any progress on it either. And I was back using my Chase Sapphire card. And so I finally, was able to land a role at my company, glory to God. And I was able to have a little bit more stability now that my role is secured beyond March 31st. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, we need to rework some things and we need to refocus on that city credit card because, again, there is a hard deadline with those 0% APR credit cards. If you didn't know, if you don't pay off your 0% APR credit card before that deadline ends, you will accrue interest on all of it from day one, right? And that could be hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. And so this is a hard deadline that I'm still working towards. In the month of March or April, I received my bonus from my job, which is like an annual, bonus that most companies will distribute. I went from about $11,000 in credit card debt to about $7,000. And my plan is to make $700 payments once a month until November. I would absolutely love to get that card paid off before November, which is why I mentioned in one of my shorts that I'm trying to find a part-time job. However, as y'all might know, this is a weird market. I got denied from Macy's. And I was like, I know I could be an excellent associate at Macy's. So I was a little bit shocked about that. But that's the kind of market that it is. And if you're wondering, no, I did not put my full resume. I wasn't giving overqualified. I just told them about some retail stuff that I had done before. And so, yeah, it's that kind of market, right? Like, I didn't hear back from Kroger. I love Kroger. I feel like I could kill it at Kroger, right? And so I would love to pay the card off early, but if push come to shove, I would just be using my salary, my corporate role to make these $700 a month payments. But I really just wanted to make this video to talk about how freaking easy it is to go into credit card debt. Like, if you are not in credit card debt, keep making the decisions to stay out of it. If you got a little bit of credit card debt, pay it off and don't let it get out of control, because those of us have experienced 5-figure credit card debt. It is scary and it can happen so fast. And so honestly, I am going to be documenting my journey here regularly of how I'm working to pay off this debt. I would love to get it paid off again before November, because by me making these $700 a month payments on this card, I don't have no fun money in my budget. Okay? I pay my mortgage, I keep my lights on, I buy a little bit of groceries, and then I'm paying $700 on this credit card. And then I look at the statements from this credit card and it's like, what is this? This is foolishness, right? Like, some of this stuff is really foolishness. Like, did you really need to eat out this much? No, you didn't. Did you really need to be just goofing off, buying a little outfit for this, a little outfit for that? No. And so really it just comes back to discipline. Like, this credit card debt situation has really pushed me to a place where discipline is back at the top of my list in a very, very real way. Because again, not all debt is bad. You get a student loan, you went to college, okay. I bought a house, I have a mortgage. That's debt. That is 6-figure debt. There's over $200,000 of debt. And so there's good debt and there's bad debt. And I definitely am calling for my life. Credit card debt is bad debt. And I was not in a situation where like I lost my job and I really was down on my luck. And no. Moving is expensive, but honestly, I probably could have just shifted around the timing of some of those purchases. Like, yes, I did buy some furniture in my move, so I put that on my 0% APR credit card. I bought new bedding, new dishes. These things are on there. My utility bills during the move, you're going to have like a higher than normal level of utilities because I ended up paying for both places for a period of time. And so, yes, these kind of things are going to be much higher expenses than normal. That's just part of the drama of moving. But I could have been way more disciplined with that credit card. And I think another part of it too is like, I was just assuming I would get a raise in 2025. I was just assuming that I would get a fat bonus in 2025. I didn't get a raise, right? Like, the position I'm in at work, I am still working towards my next role in that raise. And I believe in the name of the Lord that it's coming. But I just assumed, and you know what happens when you assume? I will put it on the screen. And so it just goes to show you that it can happen to anybody. Because I consider myself somebody who is financially aware. I track my net worth, I track my spending, I budget, right? Like, I do all the things, and yet this credit card debt still snuck up on me. Honestly, that's why this YouTube channel needs to blow up, so I can pay this card off. By trying to give the people some wisdom and some realness and some honesty. Like, I think that credit card debt is one of the least talked about things on the internet that impacts so many people. Like, yes, there are people out there with buku bands. There are people out there with money, and I'm happy for them. But a lot of us are in credit card debt, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to go to Tulum every year, trying to have the newest car, trying to have the high-rise apartment that overlooks the highway. That's like a thing in Atlanta. A lot of us are dealing with credit card debt. And it's just real bad out here. Especially because the economy is also in a place of extreme volatility. You do not want to catch yourself having a ton of debt in a time of economic downturn, which is what we might be experiencing here in the United States. So for me, it has become so serious to pay this card off, right? I would be paying more than $700 a month if I could. That's really the max, and that's pushing it. I have picked up some shifts at a restaurant that I work at sometimes on the weekends, and that's cool, but I really want more of like an evening gig, something I could just like do after work, like 6 to 10 or 6 to 10:30, a couple nights a week, and then like throw that towards the debt. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like coming on here having a yap session because credit card debt is a monster. It will put you in its grasp and never let you go. And I thank God that this is only a 0% APR credit card. So the only amount that I'm paying on this credit card is exactly what I spent in 2023 in the beginning of this year. There has been zero interest accrued on this credit card. Zero. And that was very intentional. So there are levels to this, right? Like, I'm glad that I'm not drowning in credit card debt because of a 23% interest rate. And that happens to people. That absolutely happens. But this 0% APR card, I really wonder if I needed it, or if I just thought, oh, it's a good idea because you're getting a raise and you'll pay it off and you'll only use it for moving, so it's not going to be a problem. And yeah, I ended up using it for so much stuff. And it just goes back to what I'm always talking about. Like, we all could use less stuff. And I am the first one to point the finger at myself. I could use less stuff. I'm looking at my vanity now. All this makeup. All of this. All these lippies. All these brushes. All these concealers. It's hard because our society encourages us to spend every dime that we have. So, I do feel a little bit disappointed in myself. The impulse urges clearly won. But there comes a time where you have to take accountability. And that's where I'm at now. So, y'all, keep me honest that I bring y'all along on this journey of this credit card payoff. Maybe every month I can do an update on how I'm doing and the balance of the card. Because again, I would love to get this paid off before November, but that would be contingent on me either getting a raise or getting a part-time job or both. I'm not above both, but it's like a weird market. And I really don't want to work in food service again. I've done it. I have worked fast food. I have been a server. I am not. It takes so much from you. It just is exhausting. And I've never served that's not true. I've never served table service in Atlanta, and I just feel like it would vex me. Is that wrong? I don't know. I mean, maybe if I get really, really desperate to pay off the credit card, I would take up a server job. But I feel like, yeah, maybe the Lord can just make another way. But all in all, I appreciate y'all watching this video all the way through. I know it was a little bit more unscripted than my usual, but I'm just trying to put different things out there and see what takes on the algorithm. Because, your girl is trying to be on the road to monetization. Yeah, let's get that card paid off. But if you've watched this far, make sure that you like and subscribe. I would love to keep bringing you more content and keeping you on my journey of debt freedom. I want to end 2025 with no consumer debt whatsoever and start 2026 with a clean slate. So I hope y'all will join me for the journey. Thank you. Bye.